Jed, are you from Philly?
No.
No. Where are you from?
Upstate New York.
Okay. What brings you to Philadelphia?
My fiance's family is from Philly. They're local.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you like about Philadelphia compared to New York?
It's much cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Yes.
Okay. What area of New York are you from?
So currently we're living in the Lower East Side.
Okay. Very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In like a 300 square foot apartment.
Oh,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yes, it's insane.
It's wild, like the drastic difference of like space you get in Philadelphia. You know.
For the same price, we would get a whole row home. Yes.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's robbery.
I know.
That's robbery.
I know.
How do people even support themselves?
You don't. So my opinion about it with the New York with the rental apartment is, I think a lot of people it forces relationships or forces people to live together, and it creates this weird environment where like me and my fiance, we only been dating for like 4 months and we moved in together.
Because you have to.
Yep, the rent's too expensive to second guess it. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
How does that make you like? Is that stressful? Do you think that adds another stress onto the relationship?
I feel like also the difference between New York and Philly. I feel like Philly has more of a not as stressed vibe as New York does. Like everyone in New York is like constantly working. They have somewhere to go. Like they're really trying.
Right.
And Philly is like one notch below that, I would say. And like for someone that like I've been there for many years in New York City, and now I come here, I'm like, it's a fresh breath air. I'm like, this is kind of nice. I could eat like and have a beer and like relax a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it's like now in Philly, like ironically, my cousins who I'm very close with, they just moved to Philly here too.
Okay.
And so we're trying to make like a somewhat of a contortion like family of like hey, we should move to Philly. It's way better than New York.
Yeah.
And so it's
cheaper,
you
know.
Yeah.
It will change over the next 5 years. I feel like they're getting ready to move everybody from New York City to Philadelphia.
You know, because of rent. It's like how do you live there? And it's like New York is fun and all, but it's like, yeah, it's different. Yeah.
What makes it like I spend some time in New York City. I feel like I get lost every time because it's so massive.
Yeah.
Like everywhere you go, it's just huge. Like I feel like if you take Center City, Philadelphia, where you see like Liberty 1 and Liberty 2 and Commerce Square, and you jam that 100 times, that would be like Manhattan to like Central Park, and then you still have the whole nother side of the island, which looks just as crazy. You know what I mean? So, and like I feel like Philly has its own like niche kind of areas, like little communities that are very vibrant, like very like Chinatown. You take for instance, like they got their own Golden Gate Chinatown Bridge thing, whatever you want to call that, right? And New York does have like the Italian area and like Jewelers Row, and like that's all I can really think of.
Yeah, but as someone who like lives there and like is like, no, I live now in Manhattan. It's like I feel like it's more of a homogenous just Midtown now, and I feel like because stuff is so expensive, there's all these boutique like fashion places or like Jewelers Row, all that stuff there. I feel like they have left now. They went to like different outer boroughs in Brooklyn or Queens because rent is just ludicrous in those areas.
Okay.
And like, yeah, they have some massive tax breaks there, but even with the tax breaks that they have there to stay there, be incentivized, they still leave. And that's where it's like, it's funny because also like the same thing too, like I live mostly in Brooklyn, and now like ironically the area that I live in Brooklyn, I got rented out. I couldn't even afford to live there anymore because I was in like the areas that kind of got like nicer and nicer and nicer with the steamroll. And it's funny now I come down here to Fishtown and I'm like, oh, like little Brooklyn, like please stay, please. I love the construction with the fencing all over and the bricks, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have like that, and it's like you know it's Philly. It's funny. Is you know, she's trying to get me down here, like hang out here.
Right.
Growing on me immensely. I do agree. It's fun.
Glad to hear.
It's fun. Like, and then you have these areas like Manayunk, which is like you don't have this anywhere in New York, and if you do, it's like really hard to find.
And upper state New York, very like
Yes.
it's a whole town devoted, like little tiny town.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we have something similar in Pennsylvania called Jim Thorpe and like New Hope that are kind of like Manayunk. It's like just one stretch of street that's really business oriented. What's your favorite thing to do in Philadelphia? How long you been here?
I've been coming down to Philly now for like a few years now, I would say, and like maybe like once a month I would take the train down. And one thing I do like about Philly is, like, you know, just logistically where I live in New York, it is easy to get here via to 33rd, like to get there via the train, via Amtrak. Very nice. Right. I would say like my favorite thing to do, one thing Philly has, and you're kind of saying, like, there's really nice parks and trails. I've been running down on this trail here.
Yeah, Manioc Trail underneath the bridges.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Like the rest, there's some really, really nice, beautiful parks. The amount of trees and like just like the layout of the thing with the row homes is like, it has a nice vibe to it if you want to like go explore and run around.
Yeah, there is endless stuff to find. Have you been to Graffiti Pier?
Down like by Pier 3, down by the Pier?
No, it's outside Fishtown, a little outside Kensington. It's like right on the river. It's Richmond and Delaware Street and Beach Street, right there where 95 meets Girard, you know, where and Sugar House Casino is, right there. It just made the news because half of it collapsed in the winter. But it's a very vibrant, like, street art, like, graffiti area. There's always things happening there. They were supposed to turn it into a park, but probably rethinking that currently.
It's expensive.
Oh, yeah. And then Glendale Rock Garden. Have you been there? That's off Kelly Drive.
No.
They have tons of festivals and stuff in that like little area there. It's very. That's where they have the naked bike ride. Starts usually there every year. Have you seen that in Philadelphia?
No, I know of the bike ride here.
Yeah.
It's like very famous, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I cycled around here for a little bit, but I didn't know there was a naked bike ride.
Yeah. August 24th every year. Hundreds, if not 1,000 or two. Just they're not all naked. It's like various forms. Like some have underwear on, some are fully clothed, some are painted, some are, you know, as the day you were born, you know. And they ride from Glendale Rock Garden. They do like 12 miles.
Okay.
Can you imagine like the scrapes and bumps and rashes after 12 miles? Oh no, I'm done.
You got no resistance though. Okay. So.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like if you could shave down maybe, and you could maybe go squeak out like an extra mile and just low drag.
Yeah, I guess you'd probably be really good in a pool for the Olympics if you were just bare, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No resistance. But they go around City Hall. They do make a whole parade out of it.
That's what you got to do. If you're showing up and you're stripping down and just whatever, and you're heading out, that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
You got to make a show.
But it's every year, August 24th. If you ever want to see it, you know where to look now. Or not look, you know.
Yeah.
And I saw people. I interviewed people there, and I saw people come from all over the world to see this thing.
Go to that?
Yeah, to not only see it, be part of it. Like they brought the kids. Like the whole family came. I was like, whoa, Grandpa was there. I was like, yeah, this is family. But like that's cool. Like. And they were telling me, I thought every city did it, right? Like, does New York do that? No, right? No. There's only a few, so that's what makes it so famous, right? And that's cool. It's a wild one. And Philly has such wild things like that, like the Mummers Parade, you know? Like, New York has, like, the Thanksgiving Day, like, Macy's Parade, and they do, like, the string bands and stuff, but, like, we have... And it used to be bigger, but the Mummers went like on a Friday night. They just go string band playing down the street and fucking off. You know what I mean? So it's died down, I guess, since COVID. Yes. You know, that restricted a lot of things.
Yeah, that's cool.
What is one thing you wish you could change about Philadelphia?
Oh God. I don't know. It's funny because it's like. You know what, so again, just coming from where I live and so used to public transit and being different, in New York public transit is a little bit more accessible with the subway and all that stuff.
Right.
One thing with Philly, I have noticed a little bit more car-centric city, and I have been ending up taking lifts more often. So it's been expensive. Yeah. It's been a different, like, hanging out or traveling around, like expecting you're definitely gonna take a cab later, but like in the city, like even in like different parts of Brooklyn that I was at for a while, like there was always the buses that were running pretty frequently throughout the night.
Right.
And now here with the Sherpa and stuff like that too, it's like it's different. So it's like the frequency you might not get, then you just need to take a cab anyway. And then the trolley is a little bit few and far between for some areas, like to get over, like where you need to get across town.
Right.
I get it. It's just, this is how cities are laid out. It goes to the center city and back.
It is very old.
Yeah.
The infrastructure.
Yeah.
Have you thought about? I love this for people. Are you familiar with motorcycles? Have you ever driven a motorcycle?
Yeah, a little bit. And to be honest with you, my favorite thing in New York City that they got rid of was they had electric scooter rentals.
Oh,
and
yeah, banging.
It was,
what they got, those electric bikes nowadays.
Yes.
For the city,
yes.
You can't beat it. Like they do
Yes.
65. Like
I know.
you can pull it in your house and it doesn't smell like gas.
I know.
It's not leaking oil in it. I'm a big motorcycle guy, so I always support like mopeds for like the
Yes.
city. Like you can park it on the sidewalk. PPA doesn't really give a shit as long as it's got a plate. Got a plate, cool.
Yeah.
And like people won't mess with a moped. I feel like in London they steal them like crazy. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how it is in Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, in Brooklyn, again, people bring them in the city.
Yeah.
Like bring them into the apartment, and so I think that's the other issue that thing. In London they have more, in Italy they just have more. I feel like here in the Northeast it's like because of the snow and the cold.
Yeah. Like pansies. Ride through the snow, man. I remember like I've grown up like as a kid riding, so like I'd show up to a job at like 19, middle of December, it's snowing out. I get there and I open the thing and there's like fog, you can barely see out of the thing, and like I'm like, all right, time to get to work. You worked outside anyway, so it's 15 minutes to work. It's a form of life, you know what I mean? Again, most of this country, we're going to be ripped away at one point, like when they take away the gas, at like the 2030, they're saying all the cars will have to be electric. Ford, New Jersey saying that's going to be law, So like these people aren't going to be used to, I got to walk, bicycle, or ride an electric, scooter. But like Asia, that's like the biggest form of transportation. You see chicks with their whole family and something on their head, like going up a mountain on a moped, and you're like, oh God, So I always suggest like that as a form of transportation, because if you love exploring Philadelphia, that is the best way to kind of find all the nooks and crannies and shit you'll never see, because you can see all of the city in about an hour and a half if you're on two wheels, because you jump through all the traffic, right? And then you can park up on the sidewalk. You don't have to worry about spending 10 minutes to find parking. Then you just go do what you want and then wander off and then go start the adventure again.
Yeah. No, I agree. For the month of May, I tried cycling everywhere when I was in New York.
Okay.
And I did over like 150 miles in 1 month just as I was logging every single time I would cycle. And I'd even do it in the rain. I was like, I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do. And I agree. I agree. The two wheels, and if I'm gonna do it every day, and no matter what, and you bring a change of clothes when it rains, and you do it. And again, like I was just cycling. It was just 5 miles to and back from work, and that was like a perfect distance.
Yes.
So
keeps you healthy too.
Yes. No, yeah, especially that's a few thousand calories you're burning. To cycling, I know, and that, I did. I cycled from here to Center City, like all through to Fishtown, and then down the water and then back, and between here and there, that's a very nice loop.
Yes.
For cycling.
Yes.
And very bikeable too, like going all the way down the river and going all through there, and then especially like in some areas of the city, you could find nice paths.
It's my favorite view, like the Pennypack Trail going up the river, like that at sunset. You just cruising down on your bike, and you can stop right along the river, chill for a minute, and then get back on your ride. I heavily suggest, if you used to bike, those e-bikes, man, the shit that they do is wild. And they last like 40 miles. Like you can like pretty much cover the whole Philly and back, and then call it a day, recharge it.
Did you ever canoe or paddle in the river?
Oh no. No, so I grew up in like Bucks County, so we have like Neshaminy Creek.
Okay.
I've kayaked there plenty of times. try the Schuylkill. You can go down, and get like stuff out of FDR Park and like go up by the art museum and like Boathouse Row. Beautiful. Delaware, I would stay away from that. There's a lot of heavy boat traffic, heavy waves.
In Delaware, no, but the Schuylkill here. Did you ever canoe here? Like
no. It's I feel like I'm spoiled by smaller creeks. You can kind of chill. There's like a little bit of rapids, so you can kind of like not be lazy and not paddle. You know what I mean? And then you paddle your way back. But like something like this, I grew up motorsports, so like that was like jet ski or like a boat. So to go and do that wide of a river on like a paddle thing, my ADD would not allow it. I'd be bored after 15 minutes. I'd be like, this wasn't worth any of this. But like in a creek, you can like pull up on the side of the creek, chase a turtle, you know what I mean? Hop back in, like go fishing a little bit. There's a lot more to like do, you know? Where, I mean, Boathouse Row is nice when they have like the events and like they'll have like at the beginning of the season, they'll have the free rentals. If you show you live in the city, you don't have to pay for the boat, but you better get there early because there's going to be a line. But like that's cool because there's a bunch of people out. You're like communicating with other people, but like just to go down on like a hot day in a kayak, you're gonna be seeing some jet skis and boats, and you're gonna be paddling like a whole bunch just to get up. It's like from the launch to like where that is like a good 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and how big that is, that moving body moves, you know. So no, I have not, but that's the reason. You should, and you should also go up like I'm trying to. I live there, so you don't even know the name of the park. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Playwicki Park. In Bucks County has a drop-in for like kayaks. Do you own kayaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have. The reason why I say this is because I was. I work in marine construction, and there's been a few times where I just had a kayak in my car, and I have a Prius, and an 8-foot kayak fits in a Prius. And just because people always talk about like, oh, no, you need like no, you just need a small vehicle and just get creative. And there's been a few times where I just had it in because I was working, or I have it for work just in case. And I have canoed in some interesting places. Because my experience with that stuff after like working more on the waterfront, kayak, like a small 8-foot kayak, like the cheap $150 ones, like literally from like Dick's or Walmart, or whatever. They're perfect because you could hold. They're light. Yeah, the sunbeams. Yes. So you could just like throw it in the water and you just hop in. And there's been a few times where I was stuck in traffic going upstate New York, and I was like just leaving the city, and I just like stopped side of the road, and I got a sandwich from a deli, and I threw the boat in, and I just like literally just eat the sandwich in the boat, like floating down the Hudson. That's dope. Yeah, and people always like look at me like because I go near the kayak launches, and they have like all of the gear, and they're like, oh, you need this and that, and I just show up, like open the Prius, like pull it out, throw the sandwich in, and throw it in there, like just I'm gone. Yeah. And people are like, and then they're like, they have like the cart, and they have like all the luggage. No, you just need a cheap kayak. So the place I'm telling you about, people pull up on a lawn, they drop the tailgate, they just drop it down the hill. There's like a muddy hill, it slides down in the creek, and then you're down the creek. And like you could even go if you wanted to stay in Philadelphia, it's in the Northeast. Like the Pennypack Trail is a very long trail, and it has a creek that runs with a like a hiking trail all the way along the creek, like a bike trail. You can drop, that's like a wide enough, deep enough, you can drop a kayak in that park. It's not done too often, but there's no one that watches that water line. You could go all the way down to the Delaware River. And then I don't know about paddling up. The one I'm familiar with has like 2 waterfalls, so you have to like drop your kayak down or like take it out of the water and like walk around, but it's like super nice, you know. So from the marine construction, marine legality of it, legally, if it's a flowing navigable body of water, no one can tell you can't go there. And so like the big issue that personally I had with kayakers on construction sites is they would come in and you just can't legally tell them to leave. Like, so it's a big issue, but after learning that,
you now abuse that.
I now abuse that. And I want people to know that, because it's like, especially this river here and all this stuff, it's like if you own a kayak and you launch it and you throw it in, legally it's all water is public
Correct.
water.
Correct.
And
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, in the country, it's federally protected. If it's if it's navigable water, if it's like water that's deep enough to put a boat in, which most of it is, it's public navigable water.
Okay.
And traditionally, that just needs to be connected to if it's like connected to another body of water that flows out to the ocean, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like most all rivers are.
Okay.
Then it's under the federal jurisdiction. It's only state jurisdiction if it's if the body of the water is within the state. So if there is a body of water that crosses two state lines, then it's federal again.
Okay.
So like there's a lake up in New York, the PA, Greenwood Lake actually.
Okay. That's
technically a federal lake because of that, because it crosses that.
Okay.
But any local water, technically. So if you get a kayak and you go there, you're actually allowed to be there as long as you have a life jacket and you're following call regs.
Okay.
So if you want to I'm just saying, these people.
So bring your life jacket.
Bring your life jacket. It's actually something they can actually get you in trouble for, and they will. But because it's been an issue. But yeah, just letting people know, because I feel like people don't understand like the water that you see, like you go on these runs and you're by the waterfront. It's all public water.
Right.
And so it's like people don't understand that, and so like you can't legally swim in it or something like that, but you could be in a navigable vessel, and any kayak that's floating technically navigable.
That's right. You do.
Yes.
You should register them, right?
It's weird. So like technically you don't need to.
Okay.
Because they're how the laws are written. It's under a certain amount, and human powered. So if it's under a human powered, you don't need to.
Okay, I didn't know
it's
that.
It's only if you have like that those electric motors, all that stuff.
Right.
Then that's when you cross to non-human powered.
But not the sunbeams.
Exactly.
Not the sunbeams,
yes.
or the eagle talon ones, the 8-foot ones.
Yes.
But Pennypack Creek is one of the oldest creeks in Philadelphia, and it's crossed over by one of the oldest bridges. That was William Penn anointed it to be built so that he could go from City Hall to his house in the Northeast and cross the creek the shortcut way instead of the long way around. So he erected the Holmesburg Bridge, which is directly over the Pennypack Creek. And this is it's a pretty wide creek. Like, they have multiple bridges all along the creek. It's I would say it's deeper than the Wissahickon in parts, but it stays constantly, at least deep enough for a kayak. Like, the Wissahickon gets very shallow at points.
You only need a few inches of water for a kayak sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm going. You don't understand. I'm going there. Like that is going to be packed in my car, going there with my life jacket, and I'm gonna have someone pick me up at the other end.
That's the best way to do it.
Yes.
The 2-car system.
Yes.
We used to do that a lot on Sundays in Trevose. We would drop it in all at Periwinkle and then pick up at the falls. That was the best way. Some people would go all the way down. They'd use it to bar hop. They'd drop in at one bar and then get picked up at the next bar at Hughesville. It's like a whole township over,
Just floating and drinking?
They'd literally take the donut things that you get for cheap at Walmart, right? The $5 holes that you sit in. They'd put the cooler in that, fill that with beer, and then tie it with a rope and drag it behind the cooler and then just rope it in. It stayed cool, and then they'd get to the bar when they'd all get done. It was that Trevose, that town is like a very generational place. It's like a very the people that live there, their grandfathers live there, their great grandfathers live there. It's very old. So those were traditions that were passed on. So probably done way before the bars were there or Sunbeam kayaks were a thing.
That's great.
What is one dream you're chasing right now in life, Jed?
The one, ironically, as we talk about this, I think the one dream is eventually moving out of my 300 square foot apartment. That is a dream, and fiance talk about we're gonna go and buy a house.
Okay.
But that is, as you know, extremely out of reach for a lot of people.
I suggest buying retail in Trevose.
Okay.
Bucks
You know,
County.
it's gonna go on down.
It
there.
is literally like the border of Northeast Philadelphia. So you
Okay.
get like single family homes, and
Yeah.
out of Philadelphia's like sirens, but you can within a half an hour be in Philadelphia,
Okay.
and then within 45 minutes be down here or Center City. Like it's a
Okay.
perfect spot. You got the
Yeah.
Turnpike, Route 1, and 95 all can join in that sweet little spot. Parks Casino,
Okay.
Ben Salem.
Yeah. Okay. That area. I thought it's a little bit north. Okay.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
coming down 95, that's that area over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm
So
following that.
very beautiful area. A little bit higher, $6,000 a year tax
Okay.
for if you own a home, but I'd pay $6,000 not to live in Philly. Like just the car theft. You know what I mean? Like everything else I can protect with me, but my car, I go to sleep,
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. I
That's the
know.
tough part. I think we're up to like 450 this year, 500 cars stolen. Like that's more than one car per day.
Yeah.
And like they know, they know the mentality that as long as they do more than one per day, the police won't be able to catch up.
Oh yeah. You got. Yeah. I know.
That's
Yeah,
terrible. That's terrible. Stop stealing cars, people. What is one piece of life advice you could give to the people out there? I know, two tough ones, but that's how I end it.
Yeah. So, life advice. I would say it's really one thing that helped me in life is like it's important on like with your friendships that you make. With that, like I feel like I got really far in life with the people that I was like friends with in college and with work.
Right.
And I feel like there's like a big saying, it's not like what you know, but who you know. And I really feel like with that, I feel like people get discouraged because it's like, well, I'm not gonna get like this big high level job because I don't have the right connection. But in turn, it's like your friends and there are your peers, and if you are a nice person and you're genuine to other people that you work with, and the world is very small. My industry is extremely small. We all know each other. And so it's like if the reputation goes really far. It's like, oh, that guy was a really nice guy. I would love to work with him again. Right. And so I feel like it's something where it's like I feel like with like friendships, specifically your peers that you work with, there are your friends, and people I feel like forget that, especially when it comes to professional settings.
Right.
And I feel like it's really important to double down on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a co-working space, right?
Yes.
We're all trying to advance together.
Exactly.
Stay cool. Very
Exactly.
nice to meet
Yes,
you,
nice to
Jed.
meet you.
If you want to give yourself a shout out so that people can follow you.
Thank you. It's my Instagram handle is at TangoJed, TangoJed, at Instagram. Thank you very much.
Hit him up if you got a kayak.
Yes. You can see actually there's a lot posting about that actually on my Instagram.
Nah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
dope.
Yes.
Thank you, Jed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dan, nice to meet you.
I'm gonna
My name's Tommy. Nice to meet you.
Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
Pat,
Nice
Pat.
to meet you. Lucas.
Very nice to meet you guys. So, are you guys from Philly?
Yep.
Around area.
I live in South Philly.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So, what do
Born
you
and
love
raised.
about Philadelphia?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hate it. All of it.
I
Probably
think the Eagles.
the
The Eagles.
Eagles, they're dope.
Yeah.
dope.
Oh, this guy's a menace.
that
You
guy's
don't
a
want to see
menace.
him.
No.
Oh,
Do not do horns down.
Yeah,
You don't want to see it.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
a crazy guy. Let me tell you.
huge
He's not
Texas.
from Philly,
Huge
is he?
Texas.
Yeah, who's up?
Oh, you don't want a
Okay,
problem with this
okay.
guy. He's a little bandwagon. See, that's what
So,
we like to call him.
what's the best team?
Yeah, you know.
Right here, right here.
Fight. It's
Right
a
here.
fight.
Yeah.
It's a fight.
What is that
Yeah,
team?
they were about to
Fucking
scrap.
Texas.
They were about to
Texas.
scrap.
South Carolina. I'm wearing a fighting
Longhorns.
shirt, but you know.
Texas Longhorns.
Go Tigers.
Clemson Tigers.
So what's there to do on a Friday night in Philadelphia? What,
Drink
what brings you
beer.
out?
Drink beer.
Get active with the fellas. Get active.
Who's up?
He said it before I could, but just drink beer, obviously, you know.
Stay cool.
Go Birds!
So what's one piece of life advice you could give it to the people out there?
If I can get anyone fucking just drink as much as you can.
Fuck Grace Ellis.
Fucking let's go.
Piper.
Okay. Okay. What's one
up?
dream
Don't
you
get
guys
it
are
from
chasing?
One dream
To
is
pipe Grace Ellis.
I was an alcoholic one day, and I could just fucking just drink every single day of my life.
Dream I have is live your life to the fullest.
Yeah,
Live your life to the fullest.
Is this like a big
You see all these
podcast?
people around here in Philly, and you know the
What's
thing
your
is
name?
like
What's the podcast?
they don't live
name?
their life to the fullest like we do.
Real fall risk.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's the best drink? Or you guys just drink beer?
Michelob Ultra.
I
Michelob
drink-
Ultra.
that's
I go with
just a beer.
Coors Light.
Surf
Coors
sides.
Light.
Coors Light. These are just beers.
What do you
Yeah.
like?
You
I
guys
like
don't
IPAs.
do
You're an
any
IPA
mixed
guy?
drinks?
You're an
You
IPA
guys
guy?
have never. No,
I
I
go
Marcus
with
Charlotte,
the,
yeah.
If you look right
Yeah.
over there, Coors Banquet.
Yo.
Coors Banquet.
Banquet.
Coors
Explain
Banquet is
his
probably the best
freakiest
drink.
story.
freakiest story.
Yeah.
What's your freakiest story?
I'm gonna get flipper. It's fine.
All right, for your story, I'll give you it right now,
You're
right?
good, dude. You're good.
I
Tina
went 2
Ross, man.
rounds with this one girl I know, right?
Yeah.
It was like right around the corner, right? So
Just
I
the
called-
two?
called her. You can't record that, but yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, you're on camera right now, dog. You're on
2
camera.
rounds, hit her from the back 2 times, roll. Hit her from the back 2 times, roll, and the rest is history. That's like I
Yes,
said.
sir.
Why
You know
is
what?
this monumental?
Because
It kind of like
There's a little guy
I don't
coming
know, it
out
just
soon.
emphasizes you as like a character, you know, in life.
That
like,
one,
it's-
2 times?
We need to know your freaking story now.
My freaky story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went.
I don't even know like what, you know, freakiness
Oh, you guys want to go on the bar?
that is.
Thank you for having us. You're the
Stay
man.
cool.
Thank you.
Stay cool.
You're the boy.
Yeah, I'll be out here later.
I'll
Yo,
be cool, man.
try a
How late
dirty
are you
Girl
here?
Scout.
How late are you here for?
What's a dirty
Ask
girl
the
scout?
bartender for a dirty Girl Scout.
What is it?
Vodka, Kahlua, Bailey's, and cream de mint green. It tastes like
They have Powerades?
mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Dirty,
All
dirty.
liquor.
Mike,
Dirty
gotta
Girl
try it.
Scout?
Mike, gotta try
Dirty
it.
Girl Scout.
I like it.